Hey Salty Boys, it's Daniel, and today we are going to be starting our part 1 of our rod building series. So today we're going to start work on our casting rod, so I'm going to walk you guys through how that's going to work. So right here we got our mud hole tackle rods. So let's open those things up and check out all the components we're going to need for part 1 of the series. First thing we're going to do here is I have a little piece of tape, and we're going to start putting some pressure on it, give it a little bend, and we're going to start slowly rotating this. And you're going to feel a snap in it. And what that is that's the spine of the rod. Once we find that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a straight mark right here on the rod. Now we know where the spine is. That'll be used in a little bit. So as you guys can see right here that we marked, that's the spine of the rod. So what that means is it's got a natural extra bend to it pretty much. So on a spinning rod, you're gonna want your reel to be on this spine, and on a casting rod like we're building today, we're actually gonna have the casting rod 180 degrees on this side of it. So that's why it's important to find the rod spine. It'll give you a better performing rod. Our next spot right here is we're going to line up all of our components. So we have our rear cork grip, we have our reel seat, and we have our foregrip. And what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to put we have a China marker right here, and we're going to mark at each end. So right here, and right here. So the reason we're going to do that is because now we're going to start building our components together. Right off the bat, we've slid the cork grip down and we see it hasn't gone very far, so now we're gonna start reaming it out. So when reaming, you can do it by hand, but I have a lot of way to go, so I'm gonna put my drill in here. After each time that we do that, I'm gonna dump out all the cork. Then we're gonna take the rod tip one more time. Now we're going to gently slide it on, and we see we've gotten a little farther. So we're going to continue to ream this out until it gets all the way to where we have it marked out. The thing with cork is it's a natural wood, so you do not want to try to push it on there too much or it's just going to crack. So a little bit more to go and then it'll be ready to fit. Now we have the cork pretty much, I could push it right onto the end of it without squeezing it too much, and with cork, that's really what you want. If you're using Eva foam, you can, it stretches a little bit more, but still you really just want to keep reaming it out until you get this nice fit here. Flush with the end. And now I'm ready to start building my arbors, which I'm going to show you guys how to do. Right here we have our marks on our reel seat, right there and there, and as we can see, it's really wobbly here, right? So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to build up tape arbors, which I'm gonna show you right here. So now it's time to build up our tape arbors. So we have one mark here, and we have one mark right here. So we're gonna build up, this is up to you, but I'm gonna build up 4 arbors, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and all those are is me wrapping this tape a bunch of times until the reel seat fits nice and smooth on there, which I'll show you guys in just one second. So right here we have 2 tape arbors built up, and all that means is we built up some rod thickness with the tape arbor, and now you guys can see we line it up on our marks, and now this thing is not moving around, it's solid, okay? So next step is going to be I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to build 2 more. I could do just one in the center, but I just like a little bit more support, and then it's going to be time to start epoxying. Now that I have all the arbors, I'm going to do one more test fit. Okay, and now I'm going to start reaming out the foregrip. It's going to fit right here, and then we're going to do a final test fit, and then it's just time to glue up. One quick mistake I made off the bat, and that's why we're learning here together, is I went ahead and taped on these arbors, but I haven't glued my aft foregrip yet. so I'm not going to be able to slide this thing over the arbors. So pretty much I'm going to have to take off the arbors, get my epoxy, put this on here, rebuild the arbors, and then go from there. All right, well, we already went ahead and fixed this. So as you guys saw, made a quick mistake, did the arbors, no big deal, took the tape off. Now we're ready to mix up some Pro Paste epoxy, which is a 2-part epoxy, even mix. We're gonna mix that up and we're gonna go ahead and install the rear foregrip. So we have an even part of Pro Paste epoxy, parts A and B, and we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna mix this in, and then we're gonna start putting it onto the rod. So right here I got the epoxy spread on. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to slowly twist this handle on, and it'll evenly spread the epoxy if we're twisting the handle while we're putting it on. As you can see, we have a whole lot of extra epoxy, which means the whole inside of this must be coated, so we're gonna go and save this extra epoxy. So I went ahead and I left a little bit of extra epoxy because now we're gonna put on the butt cap. Good, and then I'm gonna wipe off that with a paper towel and it'll be good to go. Now that we got the rear seat on, we have the back of here cleaned up with paper towel with a little bit of alcohol. Now we can rebuild these arbors and get the real seat coated. So we have this test fit right here, and the real seat going on there nice and snug. Perfect. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're going to take this off, smother it in epoxy, and then we're gonna put it on there. And most importantly, we have our line right here. Oh, hard to see, but we have our China marker right there, and that's the spine, which means we need to align the real seat 180 degrees to this because it's a casting rod. If it was a spinning rod, we would make the real seat in line with the spine. So what we have here is we have tons of Pro Paste epoxy, and I make sure to get on both sides of the tape as well as smother it because this is the epoxy that's gonna hold it on. Now, like I said, we're gonna start rotating this on, nice and easy. Rotating it so we have nice even coverage. And if we did this right, we should not have much coming out this seam. Perfect. So, like I said, now we have this, and it's with the real seat, which is wrong because it's the caster, so I'm gonna have to spin this. And now we have the real seat 180 degrees from the spine. Now we put a little bit of Pro Paste in front of the real seat. Again, nice and spinning it. Now we're close, and I've noticed I have a good amount of epoxy building up. So I'm just gonna take my little epoxy stick, scoop some of it off. If it gets on the cork, no big deal. We're gonna use paper towel with isopropyl alcohol to clean that up. So here you have it. We have the part 1 of the series. We have the handle and real seat. Next part is gonna be adding the rod guides and the decorative pattern, most likely. If you guys enjoyed that video today, I know it's a little bit of a learning curve for me, but I'm really happy to bring you guys along, and drop in the comments what kind of things you guys want to see on the following parts. Like I said, I'll be doing the rod guides as well as showing you guys how to add a decorative pattern on the next few parts.